Hey guys, it's Emily. Welcome everyone! On this video I visit several cities in Illinois in search of scenery, history, and quirk. Speaking of history, lots of Abraham Lincoln history on this part of the trip. Let's go! That's a really nice view of St. Louis and the Gateway Arch from the Illinois side across the Mississippi River. Let's check out a map of where I'm going on this video. I start here just across the Mississippi River in the town of East St. Louis. Then I head east on Interstate 70 to the town of Vandalia, which was briefly Illinois' state capital. Then I head north to Taylorville, another notable town where Abraham Lincoln practiced law. Finally, I return to Springfield, Illinois, the current state capital, and pay my respects to the 16th president. I'm at the Malcolm W. Martin Memorial Park in East St. Louis. This park has a multi-level platform pointed directly toward the center of the arch. This long platform goes up about 43 feet and will show a really great view of the St. Louis skyline and the Mississippi River. This overlook was constructed in 2009, made with 64 beams. The incline is very slight, so it should take just a few minutes to reach the top. The view is improving, and I'm not at the top yet. Take a look at this view. The park website says this is the best view you can get of the arch in the state of Illinois from atop this platform. You can see the historic old courthouse below the arch, and the skyline view is fantastic. This display shows what we're looking at. In addition to the arch, you can see the baseball stadium where the Cardinals play, and the domed football stadium where the NFL Rams team used to play. This is a sculpture of Malcolm W. Martin, the visionary who designed this space that people can enjoy.
Now, is that what you're trying to do with it? Or?
Oh, yeah.
I brightened up this zoomed video. You can see the windows at the top of the arch. This is a good sized park. At the far end of the park is the Gateway Geyser. Lots of good views of St. Louis from anywhere in this park. There's also a paved trail around the park where people can get their steps. Now on the other side of the park, there is a small lake with a fountain feature they call the Gateway Geyser. The geyser erupts daily at noon every day between Memorial Day and Labor Day. The geyser reaches the height of 630 feet, the same height as the Gateway Arch. An interesting note is there was to be 2 arches, one on each side of the Mississippi River, but due to funding, only one could be constructed. Next stop is an hour east to the historic town of Vandalia, where they have a fire-breathing dragon. Like many towns in Illinois, Vandalia is also proud of Abraham Lincoln. He's even displayed on the water tower. Vandalia is also where they have this fire-breathing dragon. It's called the Kaskaskia dragon. I like how this video came out. The sun makes it look like the dragon is breathing fire right now. Also nearby is this knight in shining armor, ready to slay the dragon. The dragon does breathe fire. The liquor store across the street sells tokens for $1 a piece. Put the token in this box, then the dragon will breathe fire for about 10 seconds. The front of the token is the Kaskaskia dragon. The back of the token reads, "Dragon fire brings good luck. Make a wish. I'm wishing for a great video of this fire." Vandalia was for a short time the state capital of Illinois. We're in the downtown area now, panning over to the historic state capitol building. Across the street is Lincoln Park. It's more like a small courtyard in the center of downtown. It's a nice place to sit and watch the fountain for a few minutes. Over there is a sculpture of Lincoln sitting on a bench. This is a nice backdrop of Lincoln in front of the old state capitol. This mentions Lincoln did serve here in the state legislature from 1834 to 1839. Lincoln looks very young in this sculpture. Looks like he's reading the newspaper. He has his head up next to him. The paper just says Vandalia. I can't quite make out the second word. As we leave the city, we notice this replica of the Gateway Arch just off the exit of the interstate. It's not exactly like the Gateway Arch. It's about 64 feet tall, also about 1/10 the height of the arch. It previously served as a sign for a hotel. I'm guessing it's whatever the hotel was called before its present name of Economy Inn. Still an interesting homage to the more famous arch an hour away. My next stop was about a half an hour away in the town of Taylorville. There is yet another Lincoln statue to see. It seems like every town in Illinois has a Lincoln statue. This one is entitled The Last Stop and depicts Lincoln standing next to a pig. Lincoln practiced law here, and there was a noise from the squealing pigs under the courthouse floor, at one point prompting Lincoln to ask for a writ of quietus. Looks like the pig is running away with a document of some sort. This display talks about Lincoln's career here in Taylorville. This is a beautiful courthouse, by the way. This wasn't the same courthouse that Lincoln practiced law in. This is the Christian County Courthouse and was constructed in 1902. You can definitely see it's getting dark, but just enough light to zoom in on the clock at the top of the courthouse. Very nice looking downtown square and lots of shops here. Even at this late hour, there was quite a bit of traffic driving around the square. Another look at what I think might be the front of the building. Even though Taylorville is about 35 miles away from Springfield, it is still considered to be part of the Springfield metropolitan area. Speaking of Springfield, that's my next stop. Last year when I was here, the tours of the Lincoln's home were canceled due to COVID. Thankfully, the tours have resumed. I got my reservation at the visitor center. Already, a good number of people are waiting for the doors to open so they can get their reservations. I think each tour would take up to 10 people. This display here shows Lincoln's home. This is his adulthood home, where he lived up until the time he assumed presidency in 1861. Now inside the visitor center, taking a look around at some of the artifacts that are on display here. Our tour starts in this theater. They aren't having a show, but it will be just a lecture from the tour guide on what we'll see in Lincoln's home.
Probably his most iconic home. But if you had asked him when he was alive which place he would have considered home, I think he would have chosen this one. Maybe I'm biased, but I have. After all, not only is this the only place he bought with his own money, you can really call it his own, it is also where 3 of his 4 children were born, where he raised his family, and where he started to rise in fame from a relative nobody to President-elect of the United States.
Taking a quick look at the overall area, there are roughly 4 square blocks that are sectioned off to make the surrounding area of Lincoln's home look more authentic to the 1850s.
I don't need to see, so as long as you guys can see this,
Okay.
that's all that matters.
I could do this with my eyes closed. So just let me know if you can't hear me and if I need to speak up. So welcome everyone to the Lincoln home. Our first stop today are the formal parlor rooms. These are the entertainment center. Reading here, I'm sure as well. As many of you probably have heard, Abraham Lincoln was a big fan of books. Although he only had 1 year of formal education, it was thanks to books that he was able to educate himself and succeed in life. Also, as a politician, he's probably reading a lot of newspapers, keeping up with national events. With Mary, images blend together to create a 3D effect. This seems kind of low tech today, but back then this was the height of cool. Cost the Lincolns out $20 to $25 back then, which is loved and also kind of spoiled their kids. I'm sure Lincoln, growing up, you know, he barely even had Book Street. So I'm sure as a father, he just wanted to, you know, indulge his children a little in that lifestyle he never had growing up. Before we head upstairs into the more private area.
No. It's like a still picture.
And that kind of greenish room off to the side, that was the guest room. So if Lincoln had friends over, Mary relatives, they could use that room. But they would sleep, get dressed, get ready for the day. Also, you might find him working here as well. Abraham Lincoln was a very hardworking man. He'd say sometimes. Okay, our first room here, that is the children's room or the boys' room. Originally, Robert Lincoln, the oldest son, he got first, but he moved out, he went to college, and of course his 2 younger brothers took that as an opportunity to go through his stuff, take what they wanted, including his room. He never got it. It was only Robert William Hanson.
There you go. Good question.
Yeah, that's a good question. No one's asked that before. Good, how do you do it?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
It's like, oh, we can't go out that way.
Really learned a lot, guys. Long distance train.
The small white building looks to be the outhouse. It looks like room for 3 people in here.
Yes. It's not the original one. It's the original location. It's historic.
There's a tree, but the tree's gone down.
Yeah.
Well, look, they replanted maybe.
Yeah, we're trying to regrow it into an apple tree.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because we do know they had apple trees.
Okay, cool.
It'll be a while before it's as
On the second floor, there's a balcony, but there's no door to reach the balcony. That's strange. One more look at the small neighborhood that the Park Service created. This is definitely a must-see if your travels take you to Springfield, or if you have a Route 66 trip in Illinois, definitely pay this a visit. Now to see other things in Springfield. There's a state capitol in the background. Right here is this green elephant. Usually it's the pink elephants that are a big deal, but right here is the bright green elephant, just waiting for people to take its picture. Not sure why it's here, but I'll take its picture anyway. At the corner of Jefferson Street and North 5th Street is this interesting mural. This is a nice mural. It shows a young Lincoln in a forest. It's called the Pixel Lincoln mural. If you look very closely, this mural consists not so much with strokes of a paintbrush, but a series of dabs that look like giant pixels. So if you look at the mural, it doesn't look pixelated from far away, but it does close up. This mural is titled Lincoln the Surveyor, and is meant to celebrate a former job Lincoln held. He was once a land surveyor. Next, I'm at the Capitol building. If you watched my Springfield video from last year, I mentioned the building was constructed after Lincoln was assassinated, and they wanted Lincoln to be entombed here. Also a replica of the Liberty Bell. Many state capitals have a Liberty Bell replica, and Springfield is no exception. Behind the Lincoln statue is his farewell address that he delivered to Springfield when he left for Washington, D.C. to assume presidency in 1861. Staying downtown at the corner of El Dorado and Spring Streets is this very thin totem pole of Abraham Lincoln. It's by the Illinois State Arts Museum and very easy to miss. There's a dispute over what the totem pole represents. Some say the totem pole commemorates Lincoln for his role in ending slavery. However, others feel this is a shame pole, which tied Lincoln to the American westward expansion during the middle of the 19th century. Another thought is the totem pole was to commemorate the first white man that visited the Tlingit Native American tribe. The carver didn't know what a white man looked like, so they used this picture of Abraham Lincoln. Next at the Illinois State Fairgrounds is another statue of Lincoln called the Railsplitter. The statue is 30 feet tall and is holding an axe. Lincoln is very skinny and does not have a beard. The statue was made in 1967 and is mostly made from fiberglass, but the legs are made from telephone poles. Not sure if this fits in the Muffler Man category, but our next stop definitely does. A little bit west of town at the Lauterbach Auto and Tire Mechanic is a Muffler Man. This is on a very busy thoroughfare, so it's not easy to get a good video. Across the street is Steak and Shake, and I could zoom in to get a better video when there is no traffic on the road. In 1978, this Muffler Man literally lost his head during a tornado, but not long afterwards, this beloved Muffler Man had his head reattached. The big eye is at Wabash Avenue, not far from Leonard Street. Now on 6th Street, which is also Route 66, I see a drunken pink elephant. At least I think it's drunk. It's wearing a pair of eyeglasses and holding what looks like a martini glass with a cherry in it. This is in front of the Kent Plaza Shopping Center. If your thing is pink elephants, here's one to mark off your list. Just a block down the road is the Cozy Drive-In, where what is known as the corn dog was invented. Funny how this restaurant has a big food sign. It does serve more than corn dogs. This is the classic diner right on the Mother Road, but don't call them corn dogs. They are called cozy dogs in this restaurant. There's a long thin map of Route 66 along the top of the windows. Another display showing some attractions along the Illinois part of Route 66. Now inside the restaurant, checking out some of the memorabilia. Lots of Route 66 stickers, postcards, and shirts for sale as well. This place gets very busy right at lunchtime. This is a popular spot for Route 66 travelers and Springfield locals alike. Lunch is served. We got a full pound of house-cut fries and 4 cozy dogs. That was a combo special. We also got a burger and fries. Showing you the size of the hot dog compared to the coating, my parents enjoyed them. My last stop in Springfield is a return visit to Lincoln's tomb. I love this entranceway into the tomb. The flags on the light posts have pictures of Lincoln at various stages in his life. This road goes right toward that obelisk that is right over Lincoln's tomb, very appropriate for our greatest president. When we last visited in September, reservations were required and they did temperature checks. Now you can come at any time, masks are required, but I think they still control the number of people that are in the tomb. Still well into this pandemic, so I won't be rubbing Lincoln's nose for good luck. I'll leave you with a look inside the tomb and where Lincoln, his wife Mary Todd, and 3 of his 4 children are interred. Thanks so much for watching.
Mm-hmm.